No. It's only $10 more than it was the month before.
It was like $300 a month before.
No, that was because it was 2 months.
Teresa Dean in the house.
I'm here.
What's the next one?
Woo! Elaine Sykes. Hello. First time here all the way from PA.
Welcome.
Both of us have family in Pennsylvania.
Welcome.
Both sides of the state, right?
Yep. I got the cool side.
No. My side's much
Philly.
cooler.
Yeah?
My cousin just threw in the first pitch at a Philadelphia Phillies game with the Philly Fanatic. Top that.
Me?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Who's the Super Bowl champions?
Don't choke.
Windswept in the house. Floyd, Mary. Oh boy.
What?
Teresa.
I might be good, and then I might
Running
be
Bear
bad.
Ranch. Hello from North California.
That's awesome. That's another one. Mary S., good to see you in here.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't seen her in a while. She just got a new, I want to say it was her, got a new roof on her house, maybe?
Karen,
Is that you?
McCall.
That's a new one, too.
Hello.
Karina. That is good after you reach 50. Yeah, new roof and paint. They were trying to wait out in between the storms. Yeah.
David.
How's it going tonight, everyone? Just sat down with some barbecue chicken and potato salad. Yummy, yummy.
Geeky. Steph.
Hello, Steph.
Breakaway.
Scrape away.
We got your picture on the, what would that thing be? Shelves of Fame.
No, it's just our shelf of stuff that people send us so that we can remember all the cool people.
Shelf of Fame.
No?
Yep. We got, let's see.
No? So just bring me regular lavender then. Bless you.
We got stuff from Josh, from, what's his new channel name? I can never, it's JC. JEC and me. JAC.
JEC and me.
I can never commit that one to memory. Stuff from him.
Yes, the rose is up there. Wait, can I just turn the camera for a second? I gotta be able to just turn the camera. Just tell me if you can see when I turn the camera.
You gonna turn the camera?
I'm trying. Oh,
Yeah, you
I
gotta
can't.
unlock it.
How do you unlock it? This
See
way?
that lever right there?
Oh, this one?
Yeah, flip it. There you go. How about that, Trash?
Can you see over the computer?
Kind of. Keep going.
So there's scrape away stuff, Mama Donna's bear. Let's see. We got Deep South. Funny joke. That was funny. We got a cutting board. That's from Lisa Booker, I think. This was from Teresa. These I didn't really do a video on these because it's kind of special between us, but she got me these really cool. Can you see that?
Yeah.
She got these really cool measuring spoons for me that are sunflowers. Very cool. Here's my rose from Floyd and Naona. And soaps from Living on a Dime. That's the bear from Mama Donna. And this is all from Josh. And then this was from Palmetto
Paratrooper's wife.
Paratrooper's wife.
Josh sent us some really cool stuff. He gets his own shelf. He sent us some hand drawings and just stuff that really, thank you can never be expressed enough to him for that. And we got some.
Oh,
of
and
his
there's a
other
couple
stuff
of things. Yeah, there's
hanging
a
up from
and there's
him.
a pot holder in there.
cool stuff in the
I
house.
can try you a stick person if that helps.
Then of course over there,
David says yay.
we got the Constitution.
Oh, so that is a problem. It's not right. You didn't tell me it wasn't right.
You didn't ask.
Well, I thought you gave me the hand signal like it was good.
Right there's good. And then you have the banner.
That's what made me think it was wrong because
Kiwi.
see the banner.
Now Kiwi sent us some stuff. We didn't put up on the stuff. That's because we wear it.
Do what?
Kiwi sent us stuff.
Right,
But we wear
Kiwi's
it.
right. Kiwi's stuff was not stuff that you put up on a shelf. Like we wear the stuff that she sent us. And then there's probably some other stuff. Like you got some socks from Jordan and some socks from who we have not seen in a long time. Sugar Mama.
Yep.
Susan. She made you some. Let's see. I got some really cool roses from Bee Lady. She handmade, like hand crocheted some roses.
Yep.
And those are actually in my bedroom. I probably need to bring those out here. That would be really cool out here too. So some of this stuff made it, but see what's happened is a lot of the times when we unbox it in here. So it's always ended up on that shelf or on that wall, and now that we have room on the shelf, we've made, room for everything.
So Mariah's here.
Yay!
Mariah,
Love Mariah.
I invited her to become a woofer for us.
I saw that she went to Candy's homestead.
Now we just got to raise the money to get her
To
from
get her here?
California to here.
Yeah, well.
Keep
Yeah,
her here
there's
for about
always
3
that.
or 4 days, but she hasn't done a video on this, and she called me, and we I think we Facebook chatted, video Facebook chatted, and she is so proud, and I am so proud of her.
Mm-hmm.
She had to the Candy Hill Homestead. There's just some things that they just can't physically do.
Right.
And they were going to pay.
Hey, Cherish.
They were going to pay some money to have 6 post holes done.
Done. Yes, I know. I've been following. I was following her
And
that whole weekend on Facebook.
She did it.
Yeah.
She went out there.
She was sore as
and
hell, but she owned
dug
it. Yeah.
those 6 post holes, and she told me.
Hard as could be.
She don't ever call me by my name. I don't think she knows my name, but that's okay. She says, Big Bear, I was so ready to quit on the last one.
Yeah.
And she said that she just happened to look over, and Mr. Candy,
Mr.
I don't know their name.
Kill is the last name.
She calls him Dad, and she said,
what is with this stuff?
You want me to finish this stuff?
I'm listening, honey, but I'm burning.
And she said she saw him over there working, and she's like, she wanted to tell him so bad that she just couldn't do it anymore. And she said, you know what? Yes, I can. And she didn't quit, and she got it done.
Yep.
And I told her, I said, see, you can do whatever you set your mind to.
Yep.
Yep. Hope's in the house.
So David asked, how are things going with our livestock? Wonderful. I went out and did a livestock check this morning. What?
I hate them.
Why? Well,
I hate
the
that
calves.
one. Look,
There's
I have one
calf.
calf. Let me look this way.
He's a steer.
I have one calf for sale.
He's a year
Cheap.
old, so he's not a calf anymore.
Cheap. He's a little on the dumb side. For some reason,
Hey, Mama.
he thinks electric fencing is to play with. So he'll play with it, and then he gets out of said electric fencing and ends up in my garden. He's gonna end up in my freezer.
In the freezer.
Promise you.
Yeah, he Brooklyn Girl said hello. Oh, hey, I didn't see it. Brooklyn Girl, hello.
Brooklyn
She
Girl's
hasn't
in the
been
house?
here in a while
I
either.
know.
Dungeon. Okay, so how hot was it today? It didn't hit 90.
It didn't?
86.
It was probably 90 something in that Jeep.
Yeah, it was probably out there.
And I got tore up by some fire ants weeding the garden, y'all.
What? When? Friday?
Yeah, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
And how do you get one ant bite right on your knee? Ground on the road!
Yay, I am so glad she's
They
here.
finally got
Yes, finally got him. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes. But it must be humid. Yes, super, super humid.
Yeah, you can cut it with a knife.
It may have been 88, 89. I just know the last time I looked at my gauge, it was like 86. Let me see.
Living with Hope, who used to be Hope's Homestead. So what do we call John now? Do we still call him Mr. Hope?
Of course.
Or do we call him Mr. Living?
No. I like
Mr. Living with Hope. So
Yeah,
we got
right now it's 76. So after it started to rain, it brought down the temperature a little bit.
So here's a hint. Any of you guys are raising pigs. If you have a bread shop in your town or close by within 30 to 45 minute drive, you may want to go in and talk to them. Robin went in and talked to ours, I guess, what, 2 months ago?
I think it's been almost 2. It was right after Blaze's.
Boo-boo.
Yeah, because we were having a real big issue with the feed because I was having to go buy feed like every 3 days, and that was just unacceptable. It wasn't gonna happen.
Well, Robin stumbled across this, and she saw a guy leaving with like a whole.
Well, I remember back in the day when we lived in Augusta, we had a bread shop, but around here we don't have one. And so what happened is a couple of times driving back and forth to Aldi, I noticed that there was a bread shop there, and I was like, I wonder. And so the girls were with me that day, and I just went in and randomly asked. I said, hey, do you guys by chance sell
The expired bread? And basically, listen to what they have to get rid of. If the bag, some of them like the buns that go to Arby's, Mickey D's, Burger King, they're in a big sheet, okay, and it has this one almost like a feed bag. It has a tearaway thing on it, but it doesn't break the seal. If that tearaway thing is torn, just one little bit, the restaurants say no go.
Won't take them.
They won't take them. So they come back to the bread shop.
Yes, Maria, put it straight on your belly.
And they have to try. It either goes to the landfill, or somebody like us buys it.
Right.
Well, we go and we go about every other week, and we get what they call 3 large. Basically, they're the big Walmart buggies, and it's like $12 per buggy. Okay.
And it's a lot.
And these ladies pack them. Well, other people go and do it too. Well, the other folks didn't come today, and
all week.
I came late because I had to work. And this was awesome. Today was a good mail day. I was done my route by 1400, and so I went from. Oh, and I had to fill out a crazy survey today. That's why it took me 30 minutes in the post office. I went from the post office to the bread shop, which is about a 10-minute drive. Well, I still get paid all the way up till the end of what my route is allotted for, which is like 4:15, 4:30.
Right.
And so I told the lady, I said, I'd like to get three large buggies today, and she said, how about I do this deal? $30. Load up what you can. And I went, huh?
Yep.
Because for 3 buggies, it's $36.
And that fills fills my car.
Fills the Prius. Well, I'm in the Jeep.
Yeah. Yep. So he filled up his Jeep. Well, in the middle of filling up the Jeep.
Fill it up ain't the word for it.
Yeah, it was packed to the gills.
Look,
yeah.
I have a table in my Jeep because I took the passenger seat out, so I had a table in there, and so I could set my trays of mail. I packed bread. I packed bread up underneath the table. I packed bread behind the seat. I packed
under the seat.
bread from where the floor of the back seats used to be, because it took the back seats
all the
out.
way up to where he could see.
All the way up to the top of the roof.
And then, in the middle of all that, he texts me, because I'm like 35 minutes, 40 minutes away. He's like, hey, you want to come get some more bread? Because she needs to get rid of it.
Yeah, and she told me, she said, please take as much as you can. Pack that Jeep. She said, we've got big wigs coming in, and I just don't want it here. That's just something for them to fuss about.
I've got pics, Terry. I was going to post it.
Roger that. I texted my wife, I said, get up here. Why? Just, woman? Whoosh.
And
Get up here.
You did not.
I know, but it
He
sounds
was like,
good.
hey.
It sounds good on the show.
He was like, hey, we're going to get bread for like practically nothing. Get in
Yeah.
the car and come.
And, and she didn't charge, I forgot to tell you, she didn't charge us full price for your load.
Yeah, you told me $50 for
It was
both,
$50 for both.
Yeah, so it was $25 for each load, not $30.
Yeah.
So.
And so we packed the Jeep and the Prius. Now what we do with this bread,
I love Teresa. She wants to get wet time out tonight.
see that's just ugly.
I can see her right now. She is giggling so hard
That's just ugly.
That's Teresa. She loves us, and she feels that connection.
That's just
Yeah, love you.
That's just hateful words right there.
About to be my. I knew it. I know. She is probably sitting on her bed with the computer, just giggling,
Mm-hmm.
dying. Anyway.
So I didn't even remember what I
So
said.
now we have a ton of bread.
So now we got and what we do with the bread is we
Fill up a bucket.
fill up, we take the bread and we obviously tear it up, and then we pour in the feed, and then pour the bread in as a filler. The bread is just a filler so we can make our feed stretch out that much.
Well, and the other thing too we're trying to do when we can get the girls to remember, like if we cook eggs in the morning and we're washing out the bottom of the scorched egg that's at the bottom of the pan, we'll take that and we'll throw it in with the bread. And so all of the water that's not super, bad for them water, we'll take that water and rinse stuff and throw it in the slop bucket as well. So let's see. I'm hauling a small repair kit with my truck on my own.
I want to say something right now.
What?
Kitty's been with us for a long, long time. She's been one of our moderators for a long, long time.
Yes, and she's awesome.
And she does a phenomenal job.
Well, she takes it like it's personal and it's serious. Like, it's really
she
cool.
always finds some of the coolest stuff. She always puts icons with the stuff.
Yeah.
And she, like the last one, it had the little bear and was that
Little
a leaf?
leaves, fallen leaves.
Fallen leaves. Stuff
Yep,
like that. She's
little
got
birdies.
little birds.
Yep, I love it.
I mean, awesome. And let me tell you, I'm not gonna put all of her business out right now. Kitty's going through some hard stuff. So if y'all could send good wishes and prayers her way for me, I would appreciate it. Do it, because Kitty is like a part of our family.
Mm-hmm.
She's been with us a very, very long time.
Well, we've been doing this now 2 years.
And some of the nasty people out there, they accused Kitty of being my lover. So now we joke and we call her my lover.
My lover too, apparently.
Yeah. And I know I try to tell her privately all of the time that how much I really appreciate her. But I want to say publicly right now that Kitty, we wouldn't be nowhere close to where we are today if it wasn't for you and how well you have kept everything in line in all of our chats, whether it's been Robin's Essential Oils class, our Saturday night shows, Insomnia. You're one of the main reasons why Insomnia was as successful as it was. I bounced a lot of ideas off of you. You were my right hand for and still are for. I mean, you've been that way for a very, very long time, and I don't know if I've ever been able to express how much Robin and I love you and how much we appreciate you.
Very, very, very true. And she also, one thing that you don't end up seeing a lot of, because you're usually here doing this, but she always posts links to our, as soon as we go on live, she posts links to all these different groups, and she sets it up, I mean, everywhere. So, you know, very, very, very above and beyond awesome, awesome, awesome chick. Love her to death. And there she is again, look at that. Now you're just showing off.
No, now she's trying to not cry because you didn't see her comment. Yeah, and I'm not. I hope I didn't embarrass you, Kitty. I just you mean a lot to us.
Yes, that's very.
That's even very true, Hope. Yes.
Yep, that's very true.
That's
when
very
we were going
true.
through that nasty attack with the trolls, she was on top of it.
She was on it, and she was able to protect us from a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of you guys don't know some of the stuff that we went through, and Kitty protected us a lot.
She really did.
You know, and Floyd says it's hard to find real friends. And, you know, one of the things that I've always said is that
Amy?
You have 3 levels of friends.
Yes.
You have friends that are leaves. If you look at it as like a tree, you have friends that are leaves, friends that are branches, and friends that are roots.
Yep.
And
Kitty's a root.
friends that are leaves, they're there for a season, and then they leave. Okay. Friends that are limbs, they stick around a little bit longer, and they.
But as soon as it gets
you know,
windy,
if it gets a little stormy though, they tend to snap and break and go
or
away.
they bend,
But a root friend is the one that's there through everything, and they're helping you stand up
and stay
straight.
strong.
And let me tell you, Kitty is a root to us.
Yeah. So we definitely.
Oh, look, Amy just stood up. I was able to see her.
Hey, Amy.
Amy, did you get the what is it? 9?
Did you send it to her?
I think I did.
Oh, okay, because I didn't. I printed it out for you to fill out. Yeah. Did you ever send it back to her?
I don't think I did because right here it is. Well, I had to rescan it, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I have.
Okay. So if you'll give it to me, I'll scan it.
It's
Okay.
got a stain on it.
Okay. I'll scan it. It'll come in right after. Right after the show, I'll scan it and put it in.
Ricky's in the house.
Oh, did Ricky go up to Ohio?
What?
It says Ricky, love your trip up north. I'm
He
guessing
might
he
have.
went to go see.
He went to go see. I talked to him the other day on the phone.
Yeah, I know. He tried to call my phone.
Yeah, no, he's not too bright.
No, it just used to be that we only had that one phone. And
I know.
I don't think he ever saved your phone number into his phone.
Okay, so we've been scatterbraiding.
Gabbing,
and showing appreciation.
So I went out to do.
I wanna.
Go ahead.
We learned something yesterday.
What did I learn yesterday? Hey, Rebecca, what's up? And it lasted 4 months. Another great kitty moment is even though it's not her cup of tea, she would even mod for me. Yes, that's true.
So I want to share something that we learned yesterday.
I'm trying to remember what we learned.
And I had to look it up. And I'm going to do a video on this because I feel it's very important. But yesterday, Blaze and I were setting up our peanut bed. We're going to do peanuts in raised beds this year. Because our spot where we've been planting the peanuts, we're still repairing that soil.
Right.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just messing with a hand pipe. So we're putting them in a raised bed. Well, we were planting the peanuts. We were planting the nuts. And this funky looking worm, snake kind of thing
Hey, Mark.
come crawling across the top of the bed. I looked at Blaze and I said, "Hey, science boy,
What's that?
what the hell is that?" And he's like, "I don't know." And so I said, "Well, it kind of looks like got a flat head." So I Googled, where's my phone? I Googled earthworm with a flat body, flat head, because it almost looked like a tapeworm, but it had an arrow type looking head. And why does this always do this to me? This is not what I looked up. Oh, I know why, because I did it with the voice stuff, so I always mess up when I do that with this
You
technology.
always mess up
crap.
when you do it. The technology crap.
But I'm going to show you a picture of this worm. Now, this worm is a double-edged sword, and I'll get into that in a second when this pulls up the thing. What's the matter?
What's it called?
That? Yeah, that nasty thing.
This one?
Yep. That one looked more like
No, there?
it. Yeah. Save the image. What are you doing? You're doing it wrong.
No, I'm not. Alright, so this is what it is right here.
Oh, you
It's,
got this? It's up on the screen right
Uh-huh.
now? Shut
Oh,
up.
I showed you something you didn't know. What?
Okay, this type of worm, it's called a bipallium.
Pallium?
Okay, this is a predatory worm. It's a large predatory worm. It's also known as the broadhead or the hammerhead worm. Okay? Look at it. He is the disgusting little guy. Okay? He's flat like a tapeworm, like a parasitic tapeworm. Okay?
Mhm.
But he can he can do the inchy thing with his body. Okay? He eats. He preys on two major things. Okay? Two major things. Slugs, which is a good thing, or earthworms.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where the double-edged sword comes in. You catch one of these in your garden. If you have a slug problem,
Wonderful.
you know, great. If you don't have any slugs, kill it, because he's gonna eat your earthworms. And as we all know, earthworms are a vital part to any successful garden. Now, I just learned about this guy. I never saw one of those guys before either, Suburban. So I'm going to do a little bit of research on them and figure out how big they can get, how they produce, what attracts them, what can repel them, and we're going to put it on in our Predator Controlling the Homestead series. Just keep in mind, you know, he's one of those guys that you want to have around, but you don't want to have around. You got to keep in check. One of the things that I also read, he's very invasive. So if you get like you see one, you got to really start looking, because you probably have more than one. So
more commonly known as the hammerhead worm.
Yes, that's what I said.
Okay. I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
I had the right thing. Because we have people asking how big it is, and I don't know.
So if you got slugs, let him stick around for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I was digging in my topsoil. He was right across the top. Basically, where he might have came from is we had the area that we had the calves in when they were real little. We had it all all straight hay and straw and everything. Well, we've been letting it sit. Well, we've been using that because we've been doing hugelculture in our raised beds. Now, hugelculture is where you have your raised bed.
Your frame.
Your frame of your raised bed, okay? And you put in logs, stumps, sticks, twigs, and you fill up a good portion of your raised bed with those.
Right.
Then you fill on top of that to cover up, to basically take up more space, you put in more organic matter. Dried leaves, mulched leaves, dried grass clippings, hay and straw, you know, stuff like that. Bam! You put that stuff in there, and then you put your layer of compost on the top. Because most of our vegetables and stuff that we're going to be planting only need, now if it's a root vegetable, it's going to need more, but only really need 2 to 4 inches of topsoil to grow. Okay? So what this hugelculture does, and we're going to be doing a video on this one, is that's basically the I'm giving you guys the cliff notes of it right now. All those logs and twigs, leaves and stuff, you're making a little tiny compost.
Mini compost.
And it's going to break down over time, because how many of us had raised beds and you filled them up to the top, but by the time the first garden season was over, it was like, shoot.
Yeah. Happens every year. You have to top dress.
You got to top dress, okay?
Well, with this,
it helps hold it up, and it also helps with drainage, so that way you don't get the god-awful root rot. Okay, and so it helps everything drain down. And then what happens is when you plant, if you've listened to me at all, once you plant, what do you do next when your stuff starts to pop up?
Hey, two family.
Two family in the house. What's up? What do? You mulch.
That's
Mulch. That's right, CD. Kiwi, you mulch. Mulch is important. Why is mulch important? Mulch controls. You know what? I'll give a t-shirt to the first person that can tell me 3 things that mulch can do. That mulch does when you put the mulch down. 3 things. The 3 major things that mulch does. You can get a t-shirt. First person. Very close, C-Dean. Very close. C-Dean, you got 2 out of the 3.
Keeps out weeds, keeps out party, moisture, weed control.
Kitty got it.
Mulch, moisture,
And weeds.
weeds.
Kitty got it. Way to go,
What
Kitty.
was C-Dean's?
C-Dean did. No, wait a minute.
Controls moisture.
No, wait a minute.
weeds,
Kitty
and feeds
didn't
the
get it.
plants.
No, Kitty didn't get it.
Oh,
Kitty didn't get it. She's missing 1. Kitty's gotten 2 out of the 3. I'm sorry, I misread that. 2,
Mulch,
1,
moisture.
2. Kitty's got 2 out of the 3. I'm sorry, Kitty did not get it. No. 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 No.
To tell you 3.
No.
Moisture, weed.
The 3 most important things. You guys are so close. Everybody's getting 2 out of the 3. The water and the weed control. Those are the 2. You guys are missing 1.
Where's that one right there? Is that it?
Which one?
Mary.
No.
No.
I mean, everybody's saying they all do these things, but this one thing that you guys are missing is more important than the stopping the erosion to then feeding the soil. No, it's not feeding. It's not feeding the soil. This is more important. Nope. No, it doesn't keep ants out. I wish it did. Nope, not rebuilding the soil. It does do that, but this one other thing is more important. When I say it, you guys are going to be all, crap! Wincept, you're so close. Wincept, you're so close about the third one. So close, Windswept. Windswept is on the right. I mean, she is burning up hot.
Confusion the Russians.
Temperature control, Lonely Prepper got it. Mulch does weed control. It's a weed barrier. It does the moisture, which is important. Okay, weeds will choke them out. Weeds can choke out your plants. Moisture you can get too much moisture in there, and it drains it out. But the temperature one is probably the most important,
especially here.
Yeah,
that's massive important here.
Because if you're up north and you put out a particular fruit tree, or you put out, you want to get some of your greens, maybe your tomatoes and stuff, and you want to get them out early, or all of a sudden, oh crap, there's going to be a late frost. If you've got a good mulch to help protect those roots, your plant should make it, because it keeps the cold out and the heat out the same way. You can also...
Right, so Teresa's saying I've seen a pile of mulch get warmed up because it's composting in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens there.
Erosion.
Yes, erosion was, look, everybody's answer was right.
Yeah.
But the three that are the most important reasons why you mulch are, because everything else, I mean, it definitely helps with erosion.
Yep.
It helps to build back the soil, because as it decomposes, it's adding it's composting right into the soil.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, all of that stuff. Yeah, we don't use wood chips.
Yeah.
We did, but we don't use them anymore.
Okay. So what was that on before I was talking?
I don't know.
Oh, that worm.
Yes. So yeah.
So be on the lookout. As soon as I learn more about that worm,
we'll share with you what
we're going to be doing a predator control on the video for you.
So moisture control, weed control, and temperature control. Right. Exactly.
Be looking on Monday. Monday is going to be the first video in our livestock series. We were going to put it out last Monday, but it was Memorial Day, and I didn't feel that it was appropriate.
Right.
What did I do?
What did you do seeing this worm? Would it eat the fire ants?
No. That's one of the things that I was hoping it would do, because I was going to put it in the strawberry
But
bed.
I'll tell you what, speaking of worms, we got some massive earthworms in our
I hope so. We've been working for 3 years to get them.
I mean, like,
we've been working our butt off.
We were weeding out the peas this morning, and I was in there, and I had the leather gloves, so I was pulling out all the stuff with thorns and stuff. And as I was doing that, I was pulling it out, and we would pull out, and you'd see this big, huge, long earthworm. And I'm like, is that like a baby snake or something? And I look a little bit closer and see. I mean, they were actual earthworms, but they were almost 1/4 of an inch thick. They're massive.
Suburban says when they cut down and shredded the trees behind the
subdivision behind me,
it made a giant mulch pile. It caught fire the following spring when the developer started to move it and introduce oxygen. That doesn't surprise me at all. You know, there are some people that build a mulch pile and they will coil up. Now, this is a good off-the-grid hack for you. If you are in a situation and you want hot water, take a garden hose, coil it up.
Hell, leave it still. Get one that's new and have it still coiled up from the store.
You start a compost pile, lay it on top of your compost pile, and continue to put compost and stuff on it, and then leave it be and have it connected. Then when you run your water through your well through this coil, the heat from the compost, you will get hot water. Be warned, it's gonna be hot. You can burn yourself. Off-grid hack, just for you. Hot,
At least that's what they say.
No, it works.
I've never, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't last that long though, because it wouldn't be a continual, as long as it would depend on how long your hose was.
I've been told I had a pretty long hose.
Reaches all the way to New Jersey. Don't burn your butt. Yep. Don't use a cheap hose, it'll melt. Yeah, that's true. Could at least make it flimsy. I don't know that I'd want that. Same thing happened to me with a grain bin full of grain. Huh. Water takes the heat away and yeah, that quits working. That's what I was thinking, is after a amount of time.
Not inside the hose though.
Anyway, okay, so what else have we had going on this week? I made soap.
On the rope.
I made.
We've had a flood. I mean,
Yeah.
we caught a lot of the outskirts of the very first tropical storm of the season.
Yes.
And it was supposed to have hit Alabama really hard, the country of Alabama. And
and it did. I mean, we have some people here in that are in Alabama, and I know one of them at least had to deal with a down tree, pretty serious down tree. So we got people in Kentucky that I know that were getting hit with that. So
we've been having a lot of rain, a lot of storms. I don't know how Suburban has weathered up there where she's at, how much she has gotten. But we've got standing water on our property. All of our rain catchment systems are overflowing.
yeah.
The pond is overflowing.
It's already done all of its draining though. That's a great thing, is we built it perfect. So it's now the pond behind us overflowed into this pond, and then our pond flowed down into the
Beaver Pond.
Now
we over there by where Teresa lives, in her neck of the woods.
They had a storm today.
In Anderson.
Yeah.
They had a bad one last night. Did you see that big oak that fell?
Yes,
right there at the bank?
Right
Bank
there.
of America?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was bad.
I heard it killed somebody.
Oh no.
Because when it fell into the street.
Into the road.
And it was all hollow in the inside.
Yeah, you could see it.
And I don't know if it got hit by lightning or if it was just good strong wind. But it supposedly fell over, and tree had to be 100 years old. I mean, it was
massive.
Thick.
It was very thick.
And I heard it landed on like a smart car or something.
God.
So.
Hey, JJL. They lost power 8 times in 20 minutes.
Yeah. So, did Hope just pull Suburban?
No.
You sure? Because she hid Floyd Underhill and then she unhid him.
No, oh, maybe. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I dropped her phone. Yeah, I guess it did. So I made soap, and you just don't want to even. So I told everybody that I made some Castile soap. I figured out how to make liquid Castile soap.
Yeah, I don't talk about it because you won't do a video about it.
No, I will. I just wanted to make sure that I had the process down right before I did a how-to.
You didn't want anybody to see your volcanic eruption of soap that you do just about every time.
I didn't do it with this last batch, so I was proud of myself.
It is absolutely hilarious.
I know it's not.
Yes, it is, because this is how it happens. Look at I'm making soap. I'm gonna make Castile soap. It's gonna be so much fun, and oh my God! I forgot to do this thing again. Oh, the soap is everywhere. Damn it, Jason! You distracted me. Wasn't even in the house.
No, that's not how it happened.
You gotta stab it, push it back down.
it volcanoed, and because I haven't made soap in like almost a year, I forgot about the fact that when it volcanoes, a lot of times it will get bigger than your pan, and so sometimes you have to break it into two. And I was doing it in the yes, it was exactly like the volcano in the live stream, but basically what happens is the air gets up underneath it and lifts it up. Well, hot process. So if you put the stick blender back down in it and kind of release the air, then it'll deflate. But what happened is I was panicking so much that I completely forgot what I knew. You know, like sometimes you just forget what you know.
She just froze, and like King Kamehameha was in heaven going, whoa. And she's like, what do I do? She turned into Rain Man. She started rocking. Why is it overflowing? Why is it overflowing? Why is it overflowing?
I was cussing. I was like,
Ladessa comes in from the other room like a child from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and she just stabs it with a spatula. She's like, ooga booga! She stabs it, and it goes.
Yes, that was my chemistry class for the day with the girls. But I know that it does that. I know that, and I know that that's what happens. It's just a natural process. When you start to put the warm oil and the warm lye mixture, water mixture in there, as it starts to do its thing, saponify, once it starts to do all that or start making its mixture, it starts to rise. And you have to stir it a couple of times and it finally will calm down. And yeah, there's a chemical reaction. So that's what happens. But as you stir it, you're, kind of disrupting that enough to where it falls back down. And I just completely, because I hadn't done it in a year, completely forgot about it. Now, fast forward past the Castile soap, go to the soap batch that I made on Thursday. That never happened. I got it. It started to. Well, first of all,
that's because Ladessa was up on the counter like John Rambo in First Blood, waiting for it.
No, first of all, I made sure that I didn't do as big of a batch, because this batch of Castile soap that I made was a gallon. It literally made a gallon of by the time I was done with it, it was enough to make a gallon of liquid Castile soap. And with the batch that I made the other night, I was doing a small batch because I'm testing out a couple of different mixtures. So the first mixture I've done is geranium and spikenard, and it's going to be spikenard. It's a type of essential oil, and it's very good for the skin. And so I've put geranium and spikenard in it, and it smells really good. I think it's going to be a really good soap. But of course, I've got a couple people that I try it on first that are my guinea pigs. I let them try it, one of them being my daughter.
So if you come to the Homesteaders of America conference in October, and there's people that are walking around looking like Sloth from Goonies, oh, you must have tested Brother Robin's soap.
And I'm working on one for, well, Terry didn't know it, but she kind of was one of our guinea pigs. The girls not accidentally, they asked me, they gave one of the bars of soap to her daughter. What?
Oh, that's probably why she's not in here. She's probably mad at me.
Who, Michelle?
Yes, she told me on Thursday she wanted more soap, and I forgot to tell you.
More soap?
Yes, and I was supposed to bring it today, and I forgot.
I mean, I just gave her 4 bars.
I guess they eat it over there.
Holy cow! Okay, so anyway, right, so Terry and Amanda have used the soap, and I know Terry was going through some issues with Amanda getting her to wash her face because she didn't like any of the stuff that Terry
business out there,
gave her. I don't think she minds at all. But anyway,
I don't need the gray hair.
What ended up happening is she absolutely loved it. And so Terry reached out to me and said, hey, can I get some more of that soap? Which I need to. So when you go, next time you go to do the mail run next weekend, maybe we'll get everybody's soap together. But, so we tried that out, and it wasn't enough for me. It was cool that it worked on Carol, but then when I had 2 other independent people who are totally away from our homestead that both had a good report with it, then I was like, okay, you know, this actually works pretty well.
How did I become the pack mule?
I don't know, because you deliver mail. I mean, what for?
Okay, are you gonna pay me $18 an hour?
Yes. So yeah, so that was the one batch that I did. So I did a small batch. I just did a 2.5, one of the loaf. And then there's usually a little bit left over when you start adding everything together. So I did that batch. Now I'm working on a batch for like aches and pains, like muscle pain kind of thing. So,
oh,
and then my other one was going to be like basically a stress relief kind of soap for the end of the day, kind of chill, relax, get ready for bed kind of soap.
I think Kitty and Suburban need to be your guinea pigs for that one.
For the going to bed soap?
Or just for the de-stress soap.
The de-stress soap. Yeah. So yeah, so that's what I've got in mind for the next couple of batches. So I've been doing smaller batches just to see, and then what I'm doing is we're going to try them here at the house, and then I'm going to send them to a couple of different people. I'm also going to work on, I know JJL Forge, he's going to try out, I'm going to do an abrasive soap for like gardeners and mechanics and people who use their hands a lot in their profession or their lifestyle.
Well, wait a minute.
So I'm going to work on a couple different types of abrasive.
So like that, I mean, how does he get his hands dirty on keyboards posting crazy music to get stuck in my head all day?
He gets downright, like if you've ever seen any of his, he does a lot of videos on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you ever see any of his videos, just look. You'll see black on his face. It's all over his hands, everywhere.
Well, it's funny though. I mean, there's times that when I call him on Skype or Facebook, I'm waiting for him to bust out in song like, "Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby."
You know now he's going to do that next time you talk to him. So, anyway.
I know there is a cure for urine, a wood chipper, and feeding my catfish. That's how it is.
So Farmer Meemaw's in here. Hello, hello.
What? There is no person called Farmer Meemaw anymore.
Yes.
Nope, she doesn't send me messages that Farmer Meemaw loves you anymore, so she obviously cannot be around. She doesn't love me at all.
She's Farmer Meemaw. Keto wife life. Oh, I got a bad headache. So I got sunburned today. We got out early in the morning and did weeding, and we started at like 8, and we didn't come in until 12. So we were outside for like 4 hours.
I got a little sunburn too the other day.
Yeah, you did. Right here. You're a little lobstery. But mine is like really bad, like right here. Aw, Meemaw still loves you. You don't love Meemaw anymore?
That's not true.
Farmer Meemaw loves you, Jason. That's how I found you guys.
Yeah. Farmer Meemaw's so skinny she almost like disappears now.
Mm-hmm.
So next week we're going to be getting back on a plan with our shows here, so that way we'll have a better topic for you guys tomorrow. And we're going to be doing the sustainable living projects again, and we're going to highlight a trap. Now, let's talk about the convention coming up in October. It's 4 months away.
Yeah.
4 months away. And it's going to be here before you know it. The classes are going to be sold out before you know it.
Yeah. Carded videos.
Now, the class that I'm doing, Predator Control on the Homestead, this is a class, no matter whether you just garden, whether you keep quail, whether you just keep chickens, or if you have sheep, cows, donkeys, horses, whatever. You're going to need my class sooner or later. You're going to need the tools that my class is going to give.
Hey, wholesome
sooner
Rex.
or later. Because there is no such, look at me when I'm talking to you. Okay? There is no such thing on this planet as a 100% predator-proof chicken coop. There's no such thing as a 100% predator-proof fencing. There is no such thing as a 100% predator anything. There's not one thing that you can do to keep predators at bay 100% of the time.
Right.
Now, the key word in that sentence was one thing.
Yeah.
The things that you're going to learn in my class is going to be a tier of things that you can do that will protect your garden, your chickens, your cows, your quail, your goats, your everything. Okay? Your feed. You know, because here's the thing. The term predator is not just specific to wolves and coyotes and bears. You know, a predator is anything that is coming to you and taking something of yours or killing something of yours. So if you have Peter Cottontail, the little cute bunny foo-foo, hopping in your garden, and he's eating your melons, he's a predator. Okay?
Oh.
If you have a rat that's coming in,
Killing your quail.
taking a chicken egg, that's a predator.
Yeah.
If you have a bear that's coming in and killing a calf, a cow, obviously that's a predator. Okay? So all these things, and there's no one thing. There's no, if you put a fence up around your garden, that'll stop the rabbits. It may, or that rabbit may just dig underneath that fence.
Well, and here's the thing, is that something that you do right now may be good for right now, but in 6 months or a year,
Or 3 days.
like for instance, we had a coop for the longest time that was perfect. It was fine. We actually buried the wire down into the ground when we were in Grovetown.
But it wasn't perfect.
Right, but it kept everything out. It was great.
No, it didn't.
Until it did. Until it didn't, is my point. It was fine until it wasn't.
Yeah, possum got in.
Right. You can think you have everything squared away, and then an animal will show you don't. So that's part of the problem is a lot of times something as simple as maintenance. I mean, when you have a house, you have to maintain your house to keep it from falling apart. When you know, anything you do, as long as you do routine maintenance, you never have a problem. To me, predator control is a maintenance that you have to do if you're in a homestead. You have to have a maintenance. There's got to be a balance on your homestead, and if you don't do certain things or set up certain things, eventually something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we went almost a decade with our meat birds, no issue with our chicken tractors.
Ever. None.
And then all of a sudden,
there you go.
Bam!
Look.
The Great Raptor Attack in 2016.
Went 3 years with no issues on our tractors. One night we lost 10 to raccoons. That's exactly, like, you can go forever and have absolutely no problems, and then all it takes is one time.
Yep.
One night. You
So,
walk out next morning, they're gone.
So here's the thing, and this is why this class, if you're a homesteader, this class is extremely important. You know, blacksmithing is a good class, is a good skill to learn.
Right.
Okay? Canning your food is a good skill to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Processing wool is a good skill to learn.
Right.
This class protects everything that you're doing.
Well, it protects the ability to use all those skills.
All those skills. And this is the reason why a lot of, how do I say this? We don't think about predator control until we need predator control. But one of the reasons why more and more people are starting, like Wholesome Roots, when they said they went 3 years and then all of a sudden, blam.
Yeah.
Here's one of the reasons why. Wholesome Roots is probably like us. I don't know exactly where they live, but I do believe they live out in the country
They're
like
in Georgia.
like we do. Okay? So, how all of a sudden
are they getting attacked by predators? Right.
Well, here's what's happening. The city life is starting to move out to us. So as they cut down woods, as they take away natural habitat and natural food sources for these animals, possums, bobcats, coons, foxes, yolks, wolves, weasels, skunks, all these guys, squirrels, they're just going to keep going towards the woods.
Right.
And then they stumble across your homestead because they're out searching for food.
Right.
They start to roam further and further. Okay? Now, that's one reason why they get there, because they're roaming further and further to find food. Think about it. If you were in The Walking Dead and you were hungry, what are you doing?
You're not just going to stay where you
You're
are.
not just going to sit in one spot. You're out scavenging. That's the same thing that they're doing. Okay, so that's one reason. The second reason is wildlife does not practice any form of birth control.
Wait, there's no predator, there's no planned predatorhood?
No planned predatorhood. So, and I know there's a lot of ladies out there that will say men act the same way. But in the animal kingdom, the male does want to spread his seed as much as he can.
Right.
Okay? Saying all animals are that way. Deer, coons, possums. A beaver is monogamous. Certain geese are monogamous. But they're very few and far between. And so you'll have population booms. Population booms puts stress on the food source.
Right, even if you have food. Right.
Makes them roam even more. Hence the great raptor attack of 2016.
I shake my head because most of y'all were with us when that was going on. You may not have known it was going on, but if you remember all of the posts where I was going to Tractor Supply and coming home with like 50 chicks at a time or 75 chicks at a time, that was during that time frame. And we must have had over 200 chicks running on our property. And by the end of the year, we were left with like 3. So, anyway.
Now, Suburban said that she had an obvious sick coyote in her front yard in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Let me ask this, Suburban. You're saying it was obviously sick. Are you saying that just because he was out there in the middle of the day?
Or was he mangy?
Or did he have the mange, or was he foaming, or anything like that? Because seeing a coyote in the middle of the day does not necessarily mean that he is sick. He could have been bounced from where he was laying at taking his nap, because he's a canine. He's not strictly nocturnal. He's a canine is a canine is a canine. It doesn't matter if it's the Taco Bell Chihuahua or
a fox
or a wolf. Canines are a canine. They all got the same behavior. So a coyote will get up and roam during the day if he's forced to, or if he's hungry, or if he just gets the urge.
Yeah.
They all have their own personalities, just like our dogs. But I'm betting more than likely if he wasn't showing any other signs of illness, he probably got pushed from his den either through road construction alone, and he was wandering.
And
dazed
she's in
and confused.
she's in a neighborhood, so it's very possible it was in an area that maybe mange. Yeah.
Mange, yep.
Infection hole in its side. Oh.
And see, and look at everybody what she wrote. Everybody pay attention to that. Mange.
Sarcoptic mange, a huge infected hole in its side, oblivious to me or to traffic. Ugh.
That dog was extremely sick.
Yeah.
And see, this is one of the things that happens. Okay, you get the population booms. These poor animals don't have anything to eat, and then their immune systems get weak. They get sick, and then you start to have this issue here. Okay, and this is how diseases and stuff spread. So, again, look at me. If you have any legislation whatsoever that comes up in your state, your county, your city, whatever, that tries to outlaw trapping, please be educated. Vote against it. Do not let them outlaw trapping. Because if they do, you're going to see more of what Suburban had to witness. You're going to see more of attacks by packs of coyotes on children. Okay? Because even Ladessa has grown up a little bit. And I'm not trying to pick on Amy if Amy's still in here, but Amy's short in stature. They look at her, if a pack is big enough, they would even look at Amy, and she's an adult, as a meal. Okay? So, what I'm saying is we all have to arm ourselves. We all have to arm ourselves with education that you're going to learn at the Homesteaders of America in my class.
Yeah, I know how much I love animals. I begged animal control to have it shot. Exactly.
And that's huge.
That's powerful.
Because a lot of people may not know Suburban. There's a lot of new faces in here. Suburban is a huge animal lover. Huge. I don't even know why she puts up with me sometimes, because I'm an avid hunter and a trapper. I think she just respects how I do it, and why I do it is the reason why.
Yeah.
But for her to say that should tell you how sick that dog was.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things. The state of Maine outlawed beaver trapping one trapping season. And when they did, before the next trapping season came around, they were almost having to import water into the entire state because the beaver population was not controlled by trappers.
No. And I guarantee you that beaver is caught a lot in Maine because and because if anywhere it's going to pull a decent price because of where they are. It's a good blanket beaver.
Yep.
So
now I want to get back on the subject of the canines for a second.
You never did answer that message.
Your dog in your house is a canine. A fox is a canine. A coyote is a canine. And a wolf is a canine. Which means a fox could breed with a smaller breed of domesticated dog. A coyote and a wolf can breed with larger breeds of domesticated dogs.
That's a problem.
I say that because of this right here. I don't normally advocate violence. I don't normally tell people to beat the liver-loving crap out of each other. But if you see some jackleg dropping a dog off in a dead-end road, on a dirt road, and you have the opportunity to put your hands on this individual, beat the crap out of them.
Because it's exactly like what Hope's saying. They become a hunter without the fear of humans.
Mm-hmm. Because it does not take long for a domestic. If I was to do that with Apollo, it would take Apollo approximately 7 to 10 days before he would go what they call feral, where he starts going back to his roots. You can film them and you can get the license plate number and turn that all in, but I have very little hope in the judicial system
when it comes to
when
that.
when it comes to that.
Yeah.
A good old-fashioned
Although-
ass whooping. I mean, like Joe Pesci casino style.
Although I will say, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe she'll pop in here before I finish my sentence, but I want to say Suburban, in their area, they actually caught somebody with one of the film cameras, like one of the highway cameras, caught him, and they penalized him pretty bad, but it was a pretty serious situation. It wasn't just somebody dropping a dog.
It is
off on
now
the side
a
of the road.
felony. It is now a felony. You now get.
Please see my last. See, that's what I was saying. I think she's.
It's now.
Oh, she has a 4-week-old puppy that they found in the road. Yeah. Yeah. It's exactly. Yeah, all the time.
One of the best farm dogs we ever had was a rescue.
Yes.
Midnight.
Uh-huh.
Loved him to death. This subject just really gets my dander up. Because here's what happens. You take a dog like Apollo. He has alpha male tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If for some reason I got shot in the face or something and ended up dropping a dog like Apollo off somewhere, if there was a struggling wolf pack or there was a struggling coyote pack.
Well, see, that would never happen. Let's just go with we died in a fiery car wreck, and all of a sudden the dog panicked and busted through a window, and he took off back that way. Because we would never drop him off anywhere. But well, you get the picture. He's off, and he's living on his own.
He now, well, can't use Apollo because he doesn't have his boy part.
No, that's true.
But an unfixed dog.
He has testicular fortitude.
A dog that has all of his
Parts, yeah.
that gets dropped off. It has he has an alpha male personality. And he comes across a weak pack. He can fight his way into becoming that alpha male. Becomes that alpha male, he breeds with all of those females. Now he has just bred in the trait of not being afraid of humans. So what happens? Then you get a couple of generations deep in that, and the pack gets larger and they get more aggressive. That grandchild or child, all of a sudden, that'll feed us for a little bit. and they would have absolutely no fear in jumping a child, especially when they have the genetics of a larger breed domesticated dog, a Rottie, a Shepherd, a Lab.
Holy crap.
What?
2 months ago, a wolf hybrid killed an 8-day-old baby. Yeah, domestic dogs that go feral are, well...
Yeah, they are
yeah,
worse.
Yeah. Well, and then when they breed, yes, that makes it even... Y'all can't see my last comment because it was too long, but it's a struggle. Yeah. Was it a pet?
And there was, probably about 10, 11 years ago, there was a trapper that was a member of the Georgia Trappers Association that got killed by a pack. Let me say that again, by a pack of domesticated dogs that went feral. There was a Chow in it, there was a Rottie in it, there was a Lab, there was a Doberman in it. And they killed this guy coming out of the beaver pond.
Well, that's also happened with a duck hunter, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the state of Georgia has now legalized that if the dog does not have a collar, you can shoot it. You can even shoot it with a collar if it's making it's making aggressive movements. So it's just one of those things. As homesteaders, we've got to protect ourselves from stuff like this. And one of the tools that you have to have, I say all of this to circle back around to this one point. You need to have the trapping tool in your toolbox.
Wow. Young mother killed in her front yard by some dogs.
Because you're not going to be able to shoot them all. You're not going to be able to be everywhere at every time, at every second of every day. You have other stuff that you have to do.
Right.
A set of traps is no different than what the preppers call a force multiplier. It makes you that much more strong. It makes you that much more protected against these type of predators, because you can set that trap out where you see the tracks, or where you see the feces, or you see the carnage that it left behind. And you can set these traps out there, set them, and go back on doing what you're doing. Because you can bet your butt, if a pack of coyotes take down a goat and they don't finish it right then and there, you don't touch that goat. What you do is you go in a circle around that goat and you place traps, foothold traps, all around it, 2-3 rows deep if you've got the traps. And then you come back in the morning and you shoot every one of those coyotes that are in that pack. And you didn't have to, you spend an hour or so out there setting those traps. And that's it. And now your herd is protected.
Right. You sacrifice the one for the greater good of...
Same way when it comes to your chickens. You come back, you come out in the morning, and you got a dead chicken. You got feathers all over the place, no bird. You start following the trail. Okay.
Good old coon.
Alright, so you got a possum or a coon or a fox or something. You start looking for other evidence. And we're going to teach you what to look for. We're going to give you a booklet that has the tracks in it. That's going to have what the tracks look like, what the scat looks like.
Yeah.
You know, what are some of the habits of a, like, for example, a coyote attack on any of your goats, your sheep, your calves.
Right.
It's going to be on the back side of your animal. If it's a cat, bobcat, mountain lion, it's going to be up here on the face. Because they're going to pounce.
They're pouncing.
And they're going to go for the throat. They're going to try to smother them.
Yeah.
Smother them down. See, these are things that we're going to be teaching you in this class. If I know it's not as fun as canning, and I know it's not as fun as blacksmithing.
Spinning wool.
Or spinning wool.
Chris, I just lost a dog that I spent almost 2 years trying to catch. This is where I struggle. I thought she was feral. Ugh. Wish I could come, but I'm not gonna stand.
You know, and I feel very strongly about this class because it doesn't matter if it's a rabbit or if it's a bear. If it's being predatory towards your garden or your livestock or towards your children, you need to protect yourself.
Well, we had that happen when we first got here. When we first got here, the grass was super tall, and Ladessa was super, super short at the time. She was walking in the grass, and it was the middle of the day, wasn't it?
Yep.
And a chow came right after her. Like, it was, I mean, it looked like something out of, like, Lion King when the lionesses are all, like, crouching low and, you know, going, and it was, I mean, Jason had to shoot it, because we're just not going to have that. Because at the time, Ladessa looked like a good meal for her. She still does. She's still small, so let's see. You really need to do a DVD on the class.
Nobody watches DVDs anymore.
Well, or a password protect or something. We could do something, I'm sure.
We'll see. But, okay, well, we've been on for an hour and a half.
Yep.
So,
If I
don't
wasn't
forget.
teaching mine, I'd be in yours.
and look, my class is kind of expensive because you're going to be getting the traps,
Well, yeah.
the booklet, some lure, some tools. You know, you're going to be getting some stuff.
Everything you learn, you'll be able to do when you leave
Yeah,
the
and we're going to be
class.
doing hands-on and everything like that. But there's so much more to the conference than just our classes. I don't
Yes.
want to just focus on my class, even though I feel very strongly about that. Now, Suburban, you are good.
You've been very helpful.
You've been very helpful tonight.
Yeah. I love classes that you get to take stuff home. Well, this one's even more important because it's one thing for us to teach you how to use this material, but if you don't have it, then
It's no good.
It's no good. So what we figured is we're going to give it to you, and then the one that we give you is the one you're going to practice
You're going
with
to
while
be
you're in the
practicing on, yeah.
class. So you're already going to be comfortable with that trap. When you take it home, you're going to go right out and set it. I guarantee it. You're going to set it and see what
You're
happens.
going to set it at the conference because I'm going to call you out if you come walking past my booth and I'm doing demos. I'm going to be like, hey,
come
come
set
here.
this trap.
You were in my class. Show these people how to set this trap.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you out. I'm crazy. I'm crazy like that. About 4 people just went, oh, I'm not going to sign Bruce's class.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah.
But there's so much more to the Homestead Conference this year. Joel Salatin's going to be there. We're going to be there.
Doug and Stacy.
Doug and Stacy's going to be there. M.I. Gardner's going to be there. Justin Rhodes is going to be there. Two Family Homestead is going to be there. Alderman Farms is going to be there. Stacy Lynn is going to. That's Salatin and her are the two that I'm
That's
excited.
because she's pretty. That's why. Yeah.
No.
Cherish is gonna be there.
Because she is a hunting fool.
Yeah,
She could probably teach me something.
And she can cook it too, so that's even better.
Yeah, Living with Hope's gonna be there. Be there picking on me all the time.
Maria's supposed to be there, right?
Maria's, but I didn't want to
Yes.
say that because she's
I think
not
she's
100%
planning on
sure,
it,
but
yeah.
she's gonna try.
Yeah. We get to be a boss. Oh God, we're all in trouble.
Yeah. Wholesome Roots, I think, is gonna be there.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
JL Forge is gonna be there.
JJL.
Yeah.
Better have coffee. Amen. We need to all bring some damn coffee.
But it's October 11th, 12th, and 13th. The 11th is the classes. Those are the hands-on classes. The 12th is the Friday for the conference. I'm speaking on the 12th. I think Salatin's speaking on the 12th one time. I think a lot of the main speakers are speaking
they're
on
on
the
Saturday.
on both days. I think they're
Oh,
speaking on both
okay.
days, and then secondary speakers are speaking in between those guys. So if you
Yeah.
can't do my class, at least please come and fill up the bleachers so I don't feel bad while I'm while I'm speaking because I'm
While
going.
you're speeching.
I'm gonna be talking a little bit about some of the. I'm more or less gonna be talking about some of the stuff that I'm talking about in the class. It's just gonna be a condensed version. There's not gonna be any hands on, but you'll get the Cliff Notes version. Okay. Hope says Amy still needs volunteers, so reach out to Amy for real.
And what she's saying, volunteers get free tickets and a shirt. You only have to work one shift.
There you go.
So, you know, if you're looking to be able to afford your tickets, volunteer, work a shift. And
there you go. Then all you got to do is get your way there.
Yep.
So, and look, don't focus, and here's, right here, very important. Okay? Don't focus on getting a hotel room. Don't do it. Okay? What you do is get somebody that you're close with.
Look at me, I'm the captain now.
And there are houses that you can rent.
Airbnb.
Nunda did it last year. It was the greatest thing since sliced white bread, I think. I think she hooked up with Hope and with, well, she hooked up with Hope one night, and
I don't think they,
Freedom Homestead.
I don't think they.
Why can't I think of her name?
Tangy.
Tangy. You know what I was thinking of with that? The first thing that went in my head with Tangy? It was the live stream when she pulled out her gun and Maria hit the floor.
I don't know. Every time I think of Tangy, I think of her with the Big Bear shirt on, and she's like.
Oh, just you? Tangy just visited? Okay.
Yeah.
But that's something that you can do.
Visit.
You can get with another family, and they've got some big houses in there that you guys can split the cost of renting the house, and then you can also split the cost of food, and you can fellowship, and you can eat together. And
yeah, but we're gonna hook up. Okay, so JJL Forge, they're gonna be in a hotel.
No, they're not.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
I thought he was staying with us.
He's not staying. We don't have room for him to stay with us. They're 9 deep. We don't have enough room for him. But they'll be eating meals with us. So at least dinners with us.
Yeah.
So 12 minutes from the conference. Yeah, ours is not far. And what was really funny story about ours is I went onto this website and I found it, and you can talk back and forth with the person that owns the house, and they live in town. And
I thought we teamed up with something.
no. Anyway, we got ours very early, so we got a pretty good deal and everything's good to go. But anyway, come to find out, they're getting ready to kind of start up their own homestead and knew absolutely nothing about the conference. So it turns out they're going to probably end up coming to the
we
conference.
sold them tickets, Amy.
Yeah.
Amy, we sold some tickets.
So that was actually
It
kind
only
of
be
cool.
2, but we sold some, dadgummit.
That was kind of neat. But
So
yeah, all the hotels are pretty expensive, and our house that we're renting turns out to be cheaper than the hotel room. And we have the capability of cooking for ourselves, cleaning our own laundry if we need to, because we have to be there. We have to be there Wednesday evening because we have to set up for class Thursday. So we have to be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and leave Sunday. So 4 days in a hotel room with the 2 girls is going to be ridiculous. And we may even stay till Sunday too. So that's the thing, is like,
we'll probably leave Sunday morning.
right. So, you know, there's this whole thing of being cooped up in a hotel room or
Being able to
stretch
because
out.
the place that Nunda and them got last year was really nice.
It was.
And so if our place is a quarter of as nice as theirs, it's definitely worth the money. So y'all be looking into that. All right, we've been on for an hour and a half, so we need to go. Are we doing a essential oils class tomorrow?
Yes.
Essential oils class tomorrow at
7:30.
7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. What oil?
I don't know yet.
Whoop, she just won't tell me. Because see, if it's a good oil, I may come in and be class clown. So that's why she won't tell you already. So.
That's exactly why.
Make sure you guys, please check us out on our other social medias. The Big Bear Homesteading Group, the Twitter, and the Instagram. I am going to put up another poll on the Big Bear Homesteading Group page because we are trying to get the videos now that we're kind of in our routine. As long as the guy that I work basically does around all the time, he doesn't get hit by a truck. I pretty much got a routine down. He usually gives me a couple of days notice when he's going to be out.
Right.
And I think all the other stuff that they were calling me in for the last couple of weeks is done. So I'm going to be able to fall back into a rhythm. But I've got more series that I think that are important. And I want to find out how you guys feel, what your level of importance of like a preparedness series and a cooking series and a home improvement series, the predator control and the homestead series, even though some of you guys fall asleep during those. The trapping, hunting, and fishing series, a basic life skills series. You know, all of these. So it may be that we run some of them on their level of importance. On how you guys vote. Some may run every week. Some may run every other week. So I want you guys to vote on what you guys... Basically, the question is going to be, which video series do you feel is the most important?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll rank the other ones
based on that. Right.
So be looking for that in the Big Bear Homestead group.
Put up a poll.
That's what I said I was going to do. All right. See, that's funny. All right, you want to do insomnia tonight?
Sure.
All right. So we're going to do insomnia tonight in about an hour.
And a half.
And you want to do it at 11?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So at 11 o'clock, 2300, we're coming back on for insomnia. All right. Remember, be kind to one another. You never know what that other person could be going through. They can be going through some really rough times. So do your best to be kind to one another. Remember, reuse, recycle, repurpose. Keep stuff out of the landfills. Just keep stuff out of the landfills. It gives our wildlife a chance. Thank you guys for coming by. We'll see you tonight for insomnia. If not, we'll see you tomorrow for Robin's Essential Oils class. And if not, then we'll see you some other time.
See you around.
Night.
Bye.